Yo, it's your boy Mike K. Smith, also known as Akins, also known as the coolest guy in sports. We're back with another fire stream. Talking Kate Martin, talking the Golden State Valkyries, talking Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. And we're talking to some NBA basketball featuring Nikola Jokic and the Washington Wizards. We're making a stream talking about the Washington Wizards. Yes, we are, because the Washington Wizards won their first game in the past 16 games, and they just beat a title contender, which is crazy to even think about. But let's get into it. The eye connection with Kate Martin and Caitlin Clark is a real connection. When we talk about real connection, we talk about it generates for its buzz, hypeness, potential, even help Kate Martin get into the WNBA. Now, I'm not saying Kate Martin did not deserve to be in the WNBA, but her playing next to Caitlin Clark in Iowa and being Iowa's second best basketball player on the title runs that the Iowa Hawkeyes went with Caitlin Clark and the rest of the crew in the NCAA, that did benefit Kate Martin. And you have to understand that opportunity is everything. And when you have a chance in this life to get an opportunity, you have to use that opportunity to allow yourself to be successful, allow yourself to grant more opportunities, and because you don't know when you're going to get that opportunity again. And Kate Martin is the epitome of that, because she's been using all these opportunities, and now she is going to essentially be the face of the Golden State Valkyries until they get a top draft pick, of course. Now, for is that Iowa connection, it's definitely real and it's definitely fun. And it just goes to show you that good things happen to good people. And Kate Martin is a good person. And she was no slouch. We're not talking about somebody that can't hoop. We're not talking about somebody that can't play. When she got her opportunity, even though in limited minutes, she was able to carve out a nice role with the Las Vegas Aces when she did play, playing hard, hustle. She was a hustle stats player, loose ball recoveries, offensive, defensive loose ball recoveries, shot contests, deflections, like really rebounds. Like she was really doing all the great things on the basketball court that don't show up in the box office. And players take note of that. And also coaches take note of that, and obviously the GM and the coaches in Golden State Valkyries, they took notice of that, and also probably believe that she has some untapped potential that she can possibly be part of the future for the Golden State Valkyries, as well as it helps them because of that Iowa connection with Caitlin Clark, as we all know when we talk about that increase in jersey sales. But Martin is going to do fine, and she took advantage of her opportunity, and she has a lot of support from the WNBA community. Her best friend, Caitlin Clark, they're still close. According to Caitlin Clark, they still connect. They were best friends in Iowa, and she's happy for Caitlin Clark. Aja Wilson, the MVP, is happy for Caitlin Clark. And not, I'm sorry, happy for Kate Martin. I'm sorry. Both Caitlin Clark and Aja Wilson is happy for Kate Martin, and they made their IG post kind of showing their support. Let's see. As you can see, this is Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark wrote on Instagram, "Let's go, Cater." Clark wrote on Instagram, support her being drafted by the Golden State Valkyries in the expansion draft. And then Aja Wilson wrote, "My baby, so happy for you." Or Jim Wilson wrote on Instagram story. Now we got to give you the Kate, I don't know, whatever that is, Nady's 50, whatever that means. I guess it's some secret, in between conversation with her and Aja Wilson. But yeah, we got Chelsea Gray, Money Martin, Dale Money, Alyssa Clark. So a lot of Kate gets this at San Francisco, starts calling Nate Koznaski. Okay, acting different already. So a lot of Vegas fans are supporting Kate Martin going to the Golden State Valkyries, as we saw Caitlin Clark as well. Let's go, Cater. Clark wrote on IG. So the players feel that the players love Kate Martin and they love her potential, and obviously she deserves to be in the WNBA, because it's one thing to get drafted off of a connection. It's another thing to go out and show that you belong. She used that opportunity, that connection with Iowa, with Caitlin Clark, and she used that opportunity to get drafted into the WNBA and it's worked out for her. She was an 18th pick overall in the second round in the WNBA draft, got drafted, hustle, hustle, hustle. I'm going to say it again. I already talked about this earlier in the stream. She was a hustle player in her limited role, her limited minutes, playing defense, loose balls, offense and defense, loose ball recovery, shot contest, doing screen assists, like deflections, taking charges, everything that gets NBA role players paid. That's what she did on the basketball court in the WNBA, and now she is essentially the face of the franchise with the Golden State Valkyries until they find their true franchise player. But for her untapped potential, she can shoot the ball well. She plays defense, and she's going to get an opportunity to expand on her offensive game and kind of show what she can do. And if you take this opportunity and you go in this opportunity with a chance to really show, like, maybe I am more than just a role player. Maybe I'm more than just this hustle player. Maybe I can go out and I can be a player that can go out and average 10 to 12 points on a nightly basis and pass the ball, facilitate. Who knows how her game is going to translate as kind of like a focal point in the offense or a focal piece of the Golden State Valkyries franchise, because I believe they're not just coming to have Kate Martin come in on the bench to increase jersey sales. I think they're having Kate Martin come in and going to allow her to play, allow her to develop, and to see what she can become. Now, for the eye connection with Caitlin Clark and Kate Martin, it is definitely strong. It's part of the reason why Kate Martin got her opportunity. It's part of the reason why the Golden State Valkyries did draft her outside of her potential. It has to do a lot with jersey sales as well. As we know, Kate Martin sold more merchandise than A'ja Wilson, who was the MVP. Now, I'm not going to sit up and say that Kate Martin is more popular than A'ja Wilson, but the fact of the matter is that connection with Caitlin Clark and them being Iowa girls, and we know Caitlin Clark and her fan base, they supported Kate Martin just as much as they supported Caitlin Clark. So if you're going to say Valkyries from a marketing standpoint, for merchandise standpoint, for you attaching yourself with the face of the league in Caitlin Clark, with drafting Kate Martin, was a very smart business decision that they did. And I just want to show y'all real quick. Very smart business decision that they did, as you can see. Top selling WNBA player merch: Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Sabrina Escu, Kate Martin, A'ja Wilson. So Kate Martin was literally number 4. The Valkyries saw this and said, yeah, we'll take her. bring her on. So that was very important as well. But once again, she's using her opportunities that she's got in the WNBA, and it's going to allow her to go off and hopefully have a nice WNBA career and show that she's more than a role player. Now, it was another player that got drafted from the Indiana Fever, though, and some people are upset. A lot of people are saying their goodbyes. People loved her relationship with Caitlin Clark and loved that she was very open and supportive of Caitlin Clark in her tenure as a rookie, and kind of was a vet to Caitlin Clark, which we kind of need in the WNBA and also in the NBA. We need vets. We need vets to come in and help these rookies to grow and be there for these rookies, and because they've been in the league a little longer. That was Temi. Temi is going to be a part of the Golden State Valkyries franchise. She is 32 years old. A lot of people wanted Temi to stay over Smith for the Indiana Fever. Now, I have to say this. Temi was a great role player. She was a hustle player. She came in. She was an energy player. She was a spark for the Indiana Fever. She did a lot of great things. But NaLayssa Smith is a way better basketball player than Temi. And I know Caitlin Clark fans, Indiana Fever fans feel some type of way about Smith due to her relationship with DeJounte Carrington from the Connecticut Sun, and maybe they feel like it's not necessarily appropriate and things of that nature. And they feel like she had some of her worst games with the Connecticut Sun. But if you look at this past postseason, everybody played bad. her name was just highlighted because of all the cryptic messages throughout the regular season and things of that nature. And also DJNA Carrington always constantly posting on Twitter and seeking out trolls and things of that nature in the terms of like, oh, Caitlin Clark's fan base is racist, or Caitlin Clark's fan base is extreme and things of that nature, when she was literally looking up after losses. Caitlin Clark search put Caitlin Clark search on Twitter and seeing all these trolls with no IVs and stuff like that, and true followers and things of that nature, and then make it seem like that's, you know, the entire Caitlin Clark fan base. But that's here nor there. That goes back to the WNBA is hot right now, and they're not used to the trolls and social media, everything that comes with being a athlete in comparison to the NBA, because no NBA players are going out and really doing that. But that's, like I said, that's here nor there. We're not really here to talk about that. But Temi was a great role player. She's 32 years old, but you're not giving up Smith in an expansion draft. Smith is a top 5 to top 6 basketball player on her team. She was a former 2nd overall pick. She has loads of potential and upside still. She's probably about to end her prime. She's only 24 years old, so maybe next year or the year after. Like, she does a lot of great things on the basketball court, and she can be a part of this core to help the Indiana Fever win a championship. And if she's not a part of the core, then you don't let her walk away for free because you want to keep a 32-year-old veteran role player. You get some type of value, whether it's compensation, whether it's draft picks, whether it's another player, whether it's attaching Smith to in a trade that can allow you to get a bigger piece that may fit the Indiana Fever for a title run in the next 2 to 3 years. Who knows? But you don't let her walk for free. So that's why a lot of Fever fans are just fans and not in the front office or coaches or executives are making decisions, because a lot of times you can't let your emotions, cloud your judgment. And a lot of people's emotions are clouding their judgment when it came to Smith, because Smith is, once again, 24 years old. She averaged 10 and 7 this past season. She was averaging like 13 the year prior when she had more minutes. But when Caitlin Clark came, they had to figure out the right team and the right fit for the Indiana Fever. But she has potential. She 10 and 7. Like, she can average a double-double in this league, and if she expands her offensive game where she's not a liability come postseason, having on the basketball court, she can just get a consistent, some form of consistent shooting outside of the rim. But still, she's a P&R threat with Caitlin Clark, with Kelsey Mitchell, and she just got to work on still, finishing around the rim a little better. But like, she's active on the glass cleaner. She can play defense, has length, has size. So she's a player that you want to keep part of your core, unless you're moving on for her to find another piece that can elevate your team. So I really didn't understand like the outcry about NaLayssa Smith being kept over Temi. I just really didn't understand that. So it's just like we can't let our emotions cloud our judgment. And speaking of Golden State, we just saw Jordan Poole go off against Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. And it just reminds me how we're looking at Golden State Warriors right now, and Stephen Curry is dealing with a knee injury. Stephen Curry is in the latter years of his career, still a great basketball player. When he's healthy, he can still be a top 5 basketball player. Hasn't been that this year due to health. But Jordan Poole is a shot creator and a creator that the Golden State Warriors are missing. And they let him go for Chris Paul, who's not even on their team anymore, who's playing with the San Antonio Spurs. Jordan Poole put on a show against the Denver Nuggets. The shot-making ability, the handling ability, the combination of flair and his overall skill set. And when he gets going, he is literally unguardable. And he literally destroyed every perimeter guard, every perimeter defender that tried to guard him yesterday. He was literally unstoppable. And it just goes to show you that sometimes you have to make tough decisions. And if you don't make those tough decisions early on, then it can cause you to kind of look back on things and be like, damn, I really wish I would have did that. And the Golden State Warriors are probably being like, damn, I really wish I would have did that, because Draymond Green is essentially coming off the bench now. Johnny Kaminga is about to tap into his full potential. It seems like the politics are over with Jonathan Kaminga in Golden State, because he is about to start, and Draymond is comfortable with that. He came out on a press conference, said a lot of people feel like in this organization he's next up, and I feel that way too. So we got to see if he really is next up. But before that, you signed Draymond Green to a 4-year, $100 million deal, and then he punches Jordan Poole in the face, and you let Jordan Poole walk. And essentially, to be honest, if Draymond Green is not the same Draymond Green that we've grown accustomed to seeing, which he's not, obviously, because if he was, he would not be coming off the bench. Then it just, hindsight is 2020, but it just goes to show you that they probably should have kept Jordan Poole and probably should have got rid of Draymond Green. And Stephen Curry wouldn't be in a situation that he's in right now, because when he's your lead creator, your lead ball handler, everything runs through Stephen Curry. You have no real shot creator on a team that can create at will and really put pressure on the opposing team's defenders. Then that is a problem. So he went crazy, and then Nikola Jokic went crazy as well. 56 points, his career high against the Washington Wizards, and it came at a loss. The Washington Wizards lost 16 straight games, and the best player in the world lost to a team with 16 straight games, and he put up a career high. That is insane to think about. That is like, should we hit the red button if we're the Denver Nuggets? So part of me feels sorry for Nikola Jokic because of the fact of, how do you lose putting up 56 points, a career high, to the worst team in the NBA right now? And watching that game, he didn't have any help. The opposing defenders on his team couldn't guard Jordan Poole at all. He was blown by them constantly. And they also wasn't really helping him on the offensive side of the basketball. Jamal Murray seems like he has lost a little step, taken a step back, doesn't have that pop in his game. Maybe that's because of the injury that he suffered. But he just got a new contract. And even if, you let them figure it out this year, and especially if they go on and have a deep run in the playoffs and things of that nature, but then it puts into question, we know Jamal Murray's in big games and big moments. That's who he is and what he's been about. But it just seems like something isn't right for the Denver Nuggets. But at the same time, I'm looking at the situation, part of me feels sorry and part of me can't feel sorry, because you have your core intact. It's up to y'all to figure it out. You have to just play better. At the end of the day, Nikola Jokic is playing phenomenal. He's in his prime. Best player in the world. But at the end of the day, it's up to the rest of his counterparts on his team to play well and to play better. And people are going to talk about them missing some key role players, not re-signing key role players, and missing guys that can defend and really get after it on the defensive side, which is true. But at the end of the day, the Denver Nuggets have their core intact. You still have Nikola Jokic, you still have Jamal Murray, you still have Aaron Gordon, you still have Michael Porter Jr. It's really no excuses, to be honest, for you to lose to the Washington Wizards. And Nikola Jokic drops 56 points. And regardless of some of the needs that your team may need to acquire to help them succeed and go on a deeper run in the playoffs, or to get them to take them to the next level, you have your core intact, and your core intact is better than some cores around the NBA and teams around the NBA. And you had the best player in the world in his prime. It's really no excuses, because if you're looking at the Minnesota Timberwolves right now, who traded their second best player in Karl Anthony Towns to the New York Knicks, basically due to financial implications to happen in the future, not even in the present. And they're 12-10 right now. They have a better record than you guys, and you guys are 11-10. It's just like, what are the excuses? Because the Timberwolves don't have their same team that they did last year. They're missing their second best basketball player. Some nights on the Timberwolves, you can't even tell who their second best basketball player is or who their third best basketball player is. And they're not a team that won a championship. Nikola Jokic has a championship core. So what is all these excuses? So yes, there's some front office things and some situations due to the fact that the Denver Nuggets is a small market team. But at last time I checked, you have all your core guys locked in and they're primarily still young. They're not an older group. They're, Jokic is, I believe, 29 or 30 years old, and then married, and Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter, they're still in their 20s. So it's just like, it's up to you guys to really figuring out and to really get to the level that you need to get to, because help is not coming. And the Denver Nuggets are probably not going to make a move, because there's really no move out there financially that can really justify them going out and making a big splash, unless you're giving up Michael Porter Jr., you're giving up Jamal Murray. And as of right now, I don't think it's too many teams that are going to want to acquire Jamal Murray, especially how he's playing right now. And it seems like he doesn't have that extra step that we've been accustomed to seeing. I don't know if he's hurt. I don't know if it's just like sometimes you deal with injuries, and coming off certain injuries can kind of hinder you going forward. Look at Ben Simmons. People want to talk about Ben Simmons is not this, he's not that. A back injury is a very, very serious injury, and sometimes can affect a player extremely a lot when we talk about their athleticism, when we talk about them being able to break defenders down or get past defenders. Kind of seeing that with Jamal Murray a little bit. But I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Wizard Gang, Truth Tellers all day, all day. It's your boy, NaLayssa Smith. Make sure you go like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on AKIS NBA on all the social media platforms, talking basketball, NBA, WNBA all day. And I'm gone, man. Peace.